you hear me clearly?
Yes, Ashish.
Okay. Okay. So okay. So right now we have Arka and Shatabdi. So I am Ashish, and anyone else there? I can like hear multiple. There is a lot of background noise.
I think Shatabdi can mute herself and
Yeah, let me go ahead and mute it.
Yeah, please. So, Shatabdi, are you in a group or something? Like, are you guys, Shatabdi, are you guys in a group or something? Or it's
No,
just you?
actually, I'm not home, so I have
Oh, okay,
a
okay.
few kids. It's a entertainment cafe kind of something.
Oh, okay, then, okay. So, yeah. So, if you can mute, I can start right now.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So I am Ashish, and uh, uh, I am into this privilege identity management domain for uh, around 6.5 years, and worked on multiple tools similar in the domain which is similar to CyberArk. So CyberArk being the primary one. Apart from that, there are other PIM tools like Arcos, uh, which is used in India and Gulf, and CyberArk, as you know, it is used widely in across the world, especially in US and Canada. So I've worked on both of these tools. Apart from that, I've worked on other cyber PIM tools like there's Beyond Trust, there is Lieberman, ERPM Lieberman. So I've worked on that as well. I have a certified CyberArk delivery engineer, and um, have done multiple implementations. Mostly my clients have been so since past 2 years, all my clients have been in US, and also I was in US for one of the projects. Um, and yeah, apart from that, mostly into information security. I like reading through a lot of information security stuff and online, and so yeah, just that was in short about myself, and I am in Mumbai as right now. So similarly, I just wanted to know about both you guys. Can you just briefly tell about your work experience and like what is your expectation from the training?
Ashish, Arka here. I'm just a fresher in a IT company, so I just started working in CyberArk. It's been 1 month now, and
Okay,
I'm mainly working in the password management section. Like
okay,
I create IDs and changing the password, setting the CPM. But
okay,
I don't have a much detailed knowledge about the Arca or the implementation side of it, or like how to troubleshoot very core problems of CyberArk if the
mm-hmm.
CPM fails or this kind of a problem. And
Okay,
currently, only I am doing the password access and password resetting.
okay,
So my expectation from the course is to learn main about the architecture, the main how CPM, PSM, and these password vault, how they work synchronously and how they are interacting with other applications while they are performing. And obviously, there's what are the other activities rather than only password management inside.
okay, fine. What about you, Sitabdi?
Yes, Ashish. So I have got experience of 7 years in IT, and right now I take care of the Microsoft cloud services in my
Okay.
organization. So I am trained on Exchange online, and I'm also certified on Skype for Business online. And right now I'm working on the Azure part, as
Okay.
in the authentication part, especially, and
Okay.
I take care of the PCI DSS and also the HIPAA compliance in terms of cloud.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I am looking forward to know how this course can actually help the cloud users, because I'm actually looking out for a growth for the next level. And I wish to know how it can help the cloud users, and how it can integrate with the cloud users, because I have seen that the AWS people, they use this a lot. So wish to know how exactly it works.
Okay, okay, yeah, that's great. Yeah. So, yeah, so we will be going through the entire CyberArk implementation end to end, like from the beginning, from right from the installation part. So, we'll be covering. So, like if you so if you look at my screen, we have we'll be going through all this topic. So, it is like a combination of fundamentals and a little bit of advanced course about CyberArk. So, wherein we will begin with the enterprise password vault, which is the one of the main components of. So, first of all, we'll have an overview of what this PIM domain is and what is CyberArk and all, and then we will have um, we'll be looking at the main component of CyberArk, that is the enterprise password vault, which is it is kind of a database wherein it is the heart of the system. So it is very, very critical, and it needs to be secured a lot more than the other components. So we'll be first covering that. We'll be doing the installation, then we'll be installing the client as well, which would be used to access the vault. Then next part we'll do is the uh, central policy manager, which does the password management part and all. So we will install that as well. And the third component, PVW, which is nothing but the web console from where any end user will be um, accessing the tool, accessing the target servers. So or request for a password. So all this can be done from the PVWA. So installation of both components we'll be doing. Then we'll go ahead with the user management, which would be kind of the end users who will be logging into CyberArk. So we need to know exactly who are they, and like what domain do they belong to. So are there multiple domains in your organization? So in case that happens, how to do it? So we'll be looking at that. Like for example, we'll be integrating on the demo environment, we'll be integrating CyberArk with the Active Directory, and that will help you to understand the flow which the user goes through in order to log into CyberArk. So there are multiple ways of logging into CyberArk. So Active Directory is one of them. So we'll be seeing that. We'll be seeing internal authentication, how internal authentication happens, how an internal group can be created. So that we will look in this user management part. Then the last important module or the important module of CyberArk is PSM, which does the video recording of so when whichever user he takes access to a server or any target device, so that gets recorded, that gets there is a log trail of everything that the user does during that session. So so this PSM part will be doing that thing. It will be um, covering the session management part. Then I'm sorry. Next, we will go to the system integrations part, which would be, so for example, there are other tools in information security domain, like example, SIM tool called, under SIM tool, there would be tools like Splunk or ArcSight or QRadar. So if you have heard any one of those are for capturing the events and sending it to the SIM console. So we'll be seeing a sample of how to integrate that with CyberArk, so which is very useful tool, and all the organizations have this. Once they implement CyberArk, they also integrate with SIM tool, any SIM tool that they own. So we'll be seeing how to integrate that, and plus we will be seeing how to integrate a ticketing system as well with CyberArk. From the PWA level, what all we need to do, and then on what file do we need to make changes. So that thing is getting captured over here, and then the system. Okay, so after that, we'll do the safe design. Safe design is nothing but safe means a logical group. So you need to actually create a group. Um, uh, so suppose you have 10 teams in your organization, suppose 10 different departments. So everyone, it's not necessary that everyone has access to all the servers. So it would, so only the servers belonging to finance department would be accessed by only finance guys. So for that, you need to do a grouping, internal grouping. So we'll understand how to do the safe design, like at a higher level, how to decide that what safe you will have. And so we'll look at with an example of a sample organizational structure example, and accordingly we will see how we can build a safe. So that we will cover in safe design. And then comes the application identity manager. So again, it is another component of CyberArk which takes care of. So now there are Windows systems, there are Linux systems, there are network systems. But apart from that, there are also web applications. There are also applications which have password which is hard coded in one of the maybe a text file or exe file, or I'm sorry, ini file, or a web config file. So to take care of such passwords, the AI module is there. We'll be going through the concept of that AI module. Then the access control. Access control means, again, so as I said, finance team people should only be accessed by finance guys. So we will do a proper access control, like how to give access, how to do a mapping between a group and between a server group and a user group. So what is the best practice to follow? All that we'll be seeing. And apart from that, so there is like a approval processes. You, in order to access anything, you can also enable a approval process. So whenever a guy tries to open an account or copy a password from CyberArk, an email notification will go to his manager, and that manager, once he approves it, only then that password would be available for him. So this is one thing that we will also be covering. That it comes under the policies, master policies. So that will be covering. And then we have the on-demand privilege manager, which is so this is used for only command line based systems. So for them, we will see how like how so OPM tool, the primary task is to do command restrictions and to give an access on demand. Privilege manager means it actually it is built for them who, like, for example, you are a normal user accessing a Linux server. Now you want to perform an activity which can only be done by root user. For that you can have this OPM tool. OPM tool will make sure that that you get the root access, and even for that you can it is not that as simple as just click on just request for something and it will happen immediately. So even that goes through an approval process, and once if allowed, then you will be able to fire a particular command or do a root access. So that is handled by the OPM tool. Um, and then there's like the important part of password management. We will be like trying password, changing the password of like Windows account, Linux accounts, and whatever error we face, we'll try to troubleshoot that. Uh, so like what all logs do we check, how the password management should be carried out, what is the best practices around password management. So we'll be covering that in this topic. And then we have the performance tuning, which is like the how to like some parameters to just changing those values will make your system a little bit more better, faster. And next is onboarding. So which as I said, we'll be onboarding Windows Unix accounts and trying a password change on them. Um, so again, there are multiple ways of doing onboarding. So there is bulk upload, there is manual upload, there's automatic detection. So we'll be seeing at various types. Next is PSMP. So this tool, again, it is used only for Linux users, only for command line users. And this PSMP tool, you need to once you implement this PSMP, all the Linux users, they can skip the PVWA part. They can directly log into their target Linux server using PSMP itself. So it is beneficial only for the Linux users. So that is the PSM. So it is nothing but PSMP, but PSN Proxy. That is the command line counterpart of PSM, and even it does the same thing. Like it will also do the recording. It will do the key logging. Um, Whatever commands you fired, everything gets captured. So everything is same. It's just that it is it is on Linux. It is on Linux, and hence it will support only Linux-based connections. Next is the Viewfinity. So this is a new tool uh, which is not exactly a part of the core CyberArk functionality. It does apart from the normal process of CyberArk, wherein it handles your endpoint. So endpoint means your laptops or your servers, and so so for example, if there is any malicious tool that is getting installed on your end on your laptop, this tool, it will help you to prevent those malicious tool from executing, be it a malware or anything. So this endpoint protection will make sure that your applications that you have on your system, it is being taken care of. It is just not blindly allowing everything to run. So it is an agent that you will have to install in your laptop. So that is about so View Infinity is actually it is a company which CyberArk took over last year or a couple of years back. Then apart from that, we have the privileged threat analysis. So privileged threat analysis, again, it is outside of a normal functionality of CyberArk. What it does is it does an analysis of whatever thing you're doing on CyberArk, and like for example, every day you access CyberArk. Basically, what it does it does a data collection wherein it tries to find out create a profile for each individual user user and individual target server, it will define that, okay, so these are the tasks that this user does every day. Now example would be like, for example, every day I log into CyberArk between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Okay, now this is happening, this I'm doing on a daily basis, and suddenly CyberArk, this tool detected that I am logging into CyberArk today at night 2 a.m. So that is something unusual. So there is a possibility that someone has hacked my password, and he's using my password to get into CyberArk. So such kind of activity CyberArk will, this PTA tool, Privileged Threat Analytics, will detect, and it will inform the SIM team or the administrators that there is something wrong happening. So it is used for a similar kind of task. So we will look at more of these during this session, and like in a detailed overview of all. And like in the next in the document further, I have explained like what all are the topics that would be covered. I'm like the subtopics, I have mentioned the subtopics and all, so which I can like share it with you guys directly, so it's not an issue. So uh, yeah, so this is all about what all we will be covering during the training. And since it is end-to-end implementation, so once you complete the training, you should be capable enough um, uh, to to do and to perform an end-to-end implementation of CyberArk. Um, um, and you'll get good knowledge of the tool, and I'm sure you'll learn quite a lot. Any queries, any additional queries that you have?
Ashish, regarding Arkaya, I'm talking about what is the schedule and how to enroll for the course, and what about the payment that we
So
have to
that
make.
you can talk with Farheen about it. She can guide you through she can guide you through the that part. So regarding the timing, like weekdays we can have 2 hour sessions, and weekend I would like to stretch it to 4 hours so that we do not like simply go on and on and on. I would like to complete it uh, uh, complete it in few days, not exceeding 15 days. So I usually try to have 2 hour session every day without fail, and then on a weekend I can stretch up to 4 hours. I can go more if you want, but like at least we will be having 4 hour sessions on on weekend.
Okay, and if I learn, if I after completion of this course, is there any
Mhm.
process of certification that we get from Cyber? Will there be any?
So this is not, it is not directly, I mean, the institute is not directly associated with CyberArk. CyberArk has its own certification path and all. That is usually done from your company. So if your company nominates you, then you can give that certification. So it all depends upon your company or your organize or like your wherever you're working. So they should be initiating this
Okay, okay. So do you
training.
guys provide any corporate training? Like if I can recommend that uh, there is a training going on. So if I contact my company and you will provide the training for the whole organization itself, are there
Uh,
any?
so whole organization, like where are you located?
I am currently working in Hyderabad.
Okay, and like what would be the number of people?
Like in my team on CyberArk, there are 6 people are working, and if I need to get an like obviously if I get a corporate training, my office will be taking care of all the payment and all the stuff. So
No,
that's
you
why I'm
can.
asking.
Yeah, you can again. Farheen can discuss it out internally, and she can inform